Yeah, I was trying to finish talking and telling a story. Well, my experience is not really a story time. I'm just talking to you all about things that's it's for somebody. I will say that. Whoever needs it needs it. So boom, yeah, Chosen came out and he had three freaking cords around his neck. So let me tell you guys. So I pushed Lyric out at 2:58. I got that shit tatted on my. I pushed Lyric out at 2:50. This is her name too. This is Lyric Harmony. The time I had her 2:58. On this hand is my husband, Lulu, and then the time he passed away. If y'all ever wonder what my tattoos are, right? And then our wedding anniversary of Valentine's Day. But I pushed Lyric out at 2:58. So while I'm pushing Chosen, right, I start pushing Chosen at like 2:50. So like they telling me like we're about to have to take you upstairs so you can have a C-section. I'm like, I don't want to have a C-section. They like, it's either that or my midwife was like, it's either that or I'm gonna have to really go in there and like manually open you up because he is in distress, honey, and we have to do something about it. So I'm like, just go in there. So I was like 7 centimeters. And so she went inside of me. I didn't feel it anyway because they had me all doped up on the epidural, fentanyl, all type of shit. So I didn't feel it anyway. But she went in there and she stressed me from 7 to 9. When I got to 9, I started pushing. I started pushing it like 2:50. So it took like 3 pushes. And you know, in between the pushes, like they give you a little time to catch your breath. So I remember it being like 2:58 and me like panicking, like, oh my God, because if you would have seen the faces, like my midwife face and the other assistants that was in there with her, like it was given like something is going wrong. You feel me? So but they didn't want to tell me because of what I had already been through. So they like, they like acting like, they got it. So I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, my daughter got it 2:58. I'm like, is the baby okay? She's like, it's okay, honey. 2 more pushes and he should be coming out. 2 more pushes. So I do the 2 more pushes. Anyway, he popped out at 3:04, but I'm just saying, like, do y'all understand how fucking scared I was? Like, the same time I pushed on my daughter with no heartbeat, I'm pushing through that to push out another baby who was in distress. So when he came out at 3:04, it was like, but she started unwrapping cords from around his neck. So it was 3 umbilical cords around his neck. I looked at my baby daddy. I must have gave him the fucking death stare because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, nigga, if I would have listened to you, my baby would have fucking died, nigga. I'm like, you literally didn't want me to get induced for whatever. I still to this day don't really know why the fuck he didn't want me to get induced. He was trying to avoid Chosen and his firstborn from having the same birthday. But what happened was he tried to avoid this shit so much they still end up having the same birthday. Like Chosen was born on his sister's birthday. And that's what Manir was trying to get not to happen. But had I listened to this nigga, my baby would have passed. Because what would have happened was I wouldn't have got induced at 37 weeks. I would have been at home. And what would have happened was he still would have been in distress. And what would have happened was, since the umbilical cord was already around his neck, it would have been around his neck. The only thing would be I wouldn't be at the hospital to be fucking saved. Or to deliver him for him to be saved. So I would have went to the hospital expecting to deliver a healthy baby and they would have told me he didn't have no fucking heartbeat. So listen to your first mind. Listen to your first mind. I got another story that I'll tell y'all in another video. My husband did the same shit when I was pregnant with Ziri. Tried to make me stay pregnant when I already had labored at home. I damn near had my baby in the fucking car because of this nigga. So don't listen to these niggas. Don't listen to these doctors. Listen to your intuition. But Chosen end up being healthy or whatever. But fast forward back to Lyric, I remember the night before going to my ultrasound appointment, the appointment that I found out that she didn't have a heartbeat. I remember laying in bed that night and I remember like a little voice, like I didn't know if it was God's voice at the time or I didn't know if it was Lyric's voice, but I remember a voice saying like, look around the room. And I'm just looking around the room. So around the room, like kind of like I have here, like I had like basically all the baby shower decorations that I had from each kid. My room at my mom's house was decorated with it. So the decor from different baby showers was all around the room. So I remember the voice saying, look around the room and look at all these beautiful things. Look at all the memories that you had with your pregnancies, including mine, and harness that energy because you're not gonna have me. I'm not gonna come. And I didn't know if I was tripping or not, you guys, but I clearly heard I'm not coming, mommy. Like I'm not coming. And I kind of accepted that because I kind of felt it. It was kind of like me and her were literally in sync and conversating telepathically. So I knew. So when I got to that appointment the next morning and the doctors were walking me in and I was telling them my baby is dead, my baby is dead, it wasn't because I was paranoid. It was because I knew, because she had came to me and told me, like, I'm not coming. So, that was just something else. It was just crazy. And I'm not gonna tell all my friends' business. So yeah, I'm not gonna tell too much of my best friend business, but my best friend went through the same thing a year prior to me losing my daughter. And so luckily I had a lot of info. I had a lot of knowledge on where to go and, what to do and what to say. So, a lot of people don't know, but if you experience a stillbirth, and I don't really like to say stillbirth or stillborn because it sounds really fucked up. I like to say born sleeping. But so if you experience that, right, and I don't wish that on anybody, but for parents who do experience that, know that you can keep your baby in the room with you. Um, I asked for a freezer bed and they gave me my baby on a little freezer bed. And of course the freezer bed is to preserve, the flesh, their skin, like to preserve the baby. So the recovery stay for me was like 3 to 4 days because I had like protein C deficiency. It was a few things that was wrong with me. Like I had really my blood was clotting and a lot of different things was going on with me. So I ended up having to stay a little longer. But the whole stay I had my daughter in a room with me and my husband. He didn't really want her in there because it was just triggering to him, but I needed her in there because I needed that time. And then my best friend had put me on anyway. Like, you need to get that time in with her because if you don't get that time in with her, you're going to regret it. Don't let them just take your baby, cremated, and you never see it. So I did that. And I had my baby in there with me for 3 days, and I just looked at her and I held her and I talked to her and I sung to her and I rubbed her hair and I rubbed her toes and I just bonded with her and I just looked at her and I just kind of soaked in all of her energy. Um, and I felt no life, like no energy coming from her body, but I felt her energy in the room, if that makes sense. And yeah, I will never regret that I was able to get that time in with her or whatever. But my main reason for making the first video and this second video is because I just feel like we as women tend to let everybody else tell us how we should feel, what we should do, what we should not do when we're pregnant. And you must follow your intuition when it comes to anything, but especially when you're carrying a baby, because you are the most sensitive, you are the most open. Your crown chakra is literally wide open when you are conceiving. You're carrying a life, you're birthing a whole life here. So if nobody else is in alignment with spirit, you are. So whatever downloads you get, whatever intuitive feelings and nudges that you get, follow them. If I would have listened, to my baby daddy, Chosen would not have been here today, you guys. He just wouldn't have. But yeah, if you guys want to know like more, I can talk to you guys all day about certain little things because I can't possibly tell y'all all of this in a 10-minute video. But yeah, follow your intuition, baby. Always, always, always. I love you guys. And yeah, that was a horrible fucking experience to go through. My daughter is sitting right over there on my altar. I got her in a little castle. But, you know, the universe is good. God is good. Source is good because I manifested the best pregnancy I could have ever manifested. Everything that I scripted and journaled 4 years after losing my baby, after losing Lyric, it came. I had a great pregnancy. I had a supportive nigga, not nigga. My dude was very supportive. Like, I was happy. I was healthy. Yeah, I just had a really great pregnancy with him. And so it's really important to speak into existence what it is that you want. Um, I just learned, and I'm just a different person, from going through all of that. But where there is storm, there is a rainbow, and so I got my rainbow baby, and I still got my angel baby. She's not physically here, but she's here in spirit. So yeah, bye you guys, because I'll talk all day, and the time is running out. Hopefully they don't flag this video. I should probably put like what do you put? When it's like a little warning or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Bye bye.